Next up, the thermostat housing. I popped a new thermostat inside, giving everything a little bit of a clean and tidy up. I think I might still replace the bolts for the thermostat here, but where do you stop, I guess. So I'm just going to bolt a few more bits and pieces up to the engine, partly just to get them out of the way, so I can know where I'm at and then go from there. Next on the agenda, I've bought an angle grinder. I've bought some flappy discs on the advice of my mate Mark. I've got to remove these wings and these vanes here on the side of the sump. So I've bought a new gasket. This lot's coming off. Sump pan, I guess, underneath as well. And perhaps best to do that whilst it's on the engine on the stand. I've popped a new seal in here as well because it seems that at some point in its life it's had well, a bit of some sort of leak, and someone had just put a load of gasket sealant behind, but the seal was tucked right up inside the actual housing. So hopefully a new seal will do the trick. It'll be okay. If not, it'll be time for new housing. Right, engine's been flipped upside down. I've relocated the engine stand fixings, and now, as you can see, the sump pan is off, so this one needs cleaning up. It's an original pan that was on there, which is good news, I think. And the oil strainer looks to be in pretty good shape, I'd say, so I'll take that as a good sign. I've got a new gasket for that, which is great. Yeah, so undo that, undo the bolts around the outside. This section can come off and be ready to be trimmed. The inside of the engine. Now, as you can probably see, it all looks to be in good order. I know you're thinking, how can you tell? It's difficult to tell, but there's no bits in here for a start, which is good news. You can see the oil jets down here. These spray up underneath the back of the piston, help keep things cool. There's no obvious signs that this has been apart, actually. 2603, I'm guessing when it was made. But for the meantime, I'm just going to have a quick tidy up and clear up, because it's just an absolute mess in here now, as you can probably see. I'm working with the car in here, which is also always a problem. One of the guys very kindly going to lend me his rattle gun, so I've had to take this pulley off, which is good. So you get that sorted, and you may or may not be able to see the bolt for the timing pin is just here. Just pops through there. There you go, just down there. When the pin goes through, that pops and locks against the side of the crankshaft. And it's in the right position so it can't move. So you can see you have sort of a flat spot effectively on the crank, so that yeah, it's in the right place. So we'll get that into the right order, and then I'll take a big gulp and have a go at doing my my first timing belt on a VCT. But hey, we'll give it a go. So all this trouble getting that off, what can I say? 1 Milwaukee, didn't even blink, and all locked off. Pin is in, and I don't know if you can see up against the crankshaft, ready for the timing belt to come off. I'm not sure if I mentioned why I'd taken the sump off this thing. So the sump bottom tray jobby is a bit rusty, so it kind of made sense for that to come off. I've got a new one. It was about 30 quid including the gunk to stick it back on. I think they're about 20 quid without, so not expensive. And to be honest, by the time I'd used half a can of paint painting it or something, fine, and cleaning it all up, probably not a problem. But the reason why I'd taken the sort of cast part of the sump off is because I was hoping to fit a rear mount starter gearbox. Now, gearbox on the Onion is fine, spot on. In fact, it was supposed to be a reconditioned diesel box, turned out to be a new one when it came apart. I didn't find this out. The guy that was fitting the limited slip diff to it did. He said just everything is new inside, and it wouldn't make financial sense to do it for what I paid for it. So anyway, it has a new gearbox fitted. So what I wanted to do was swap the bell housing over for a rear mount starter box to the box which is in the Onion, which is front mount. And unfortunately, all the various different bits on the sump are in the way. So I need to cut off the sort of wings on the sump, so that I can so that I can basically fit the starter motor, and so that it doesn't fail the drive shaft. So there you go. That's why it's all in bits. And to be honest, it's going to make it easier to paint it and things anyway, rather than mask it up. Everything else on the block itself is, as you can see, already done and painted. I'm going to take the water pump off now, having locked the cams. That's all done, and the pins in obviously down there. So yeah, time to crack on with doing that. scary moment now. I've just undone the tensioner, covers off at the bottom. So far, doesn't look like the oil pumps have any leakages, which is good. A little bit of dirt down there, but it's just dirt, I think. I'm just trying to get the belt off. Right, these tensioners are going to be replaced, as is the belt. It might be that the belt's relatively new. I can still read the writing on it. It's not a Ford one, but I don't know what make it's of, or what make it's from. I don't know when it was last done. Oh, it's a Gates one. Look at that. There you go. Yeah, I don't really know when it was last done, so all I know is it's not the original belt. So here we go, all stripped down. This water pump's being replaced, so this grubby one will be gone. I've just undone those bolts there. Undo that, this whole housing should come away, so I can clean that, paint that, or what have you, make it look a bit shinier, cleaner. I'll clean all this up in here. I say it's not oil, it's just dirt, I think, maybe ever so slightly. Bit of a clean up with the wire wheel. I reckon it looks pretty good, I would say. Water pump ready to go back on. New water pump fitted this end, in fact. So this has got a cast impeller on it, which is supposed to be a bit better than a plastic type. We'll see. We've got a new crush seal to go against the block, and obviously new seal behind the water pump. Right, shaking up a spray can because I have taken off the crank pulley. I've cleaned it up using the wire wheel. And I'm just masked up the threads just because I'm not sure whether or not the grooves, should I say, should be full of paint or not. But anyway, I've done that. It turns out the centre section, which I've also tried to mask, not so easily, same size as the lid on some paint, so I thought I would just use that. Well, specifically a can of spray paint with a bit of weight on top, so I'll give it a bit of the paint, see what happens. What a lovely day to be out in the garden. I am putting together, or should I say taking apart, I guess, the sump, just grinding it through, and with the advice of Mark, grabbed a flappy disc as well, so I could sort of finish off the edges, make it look a bit tidier. Quite a lot's come off. I've done half, so I can show you what I mean. Okay, so this is the bit that I have ground down, as you can see. There's some nice shiny metal there. That's the opposite side, so quite a bit of difference from one side to the other. Quite a bit of work to do. So a lot of metal has come off, and it's now about as smooth as I can get, really. I've tidied it up a bit with a couple of grades of flapper wheel, that being a 40 to get the heavy grinding done, and then a 120 just to finish the thing off. And it's just now ready to be cleaned again, and then ready to be painted. And whilst I'm back at the engine, I just thought I'd show you how the water pump pulley turned out. Now, I wasn't sure whether to do this or not, and I thought, oh, you got the paint, just a little bit of time sanding, grinding, whatever, and then do it, because there's a little bit of a groove on the outside, which seems to have pretty much disappeared. I know it's going to wear back a bit, but quite pleased how that turned out, really. Looks all right. Did the crank pulley as well. There's a new bolt to go on, if I haven't mentioned that already. The cast sump and the press sump now all bolted up and bolted on. I thought I had some sump pan bolts, so I hadn't bought some new ones. Turns out I hadn't, and I torqued them up, and they don't torque up very much at all. And one of them snapped, so I've had to drill that out and replace that with another bolt, which is irritating. But nevertheless, it's all together. This silicone stuff's horrible. It's an absolute mess, and it's now very late at night, or possibly early. I'm not sure which. The engine's probably about as far as it's going to go for now. So I have done the water pump. I've done the thermostat. I've done everything in terms of painting. I've replaced the sump gaskets. I've got the rear main oil seal yet to do, and the gasket that goes behind the top of that as well. What else have we got to do? The rocker cover, the spark plug cover, various bolts that hold that on, and waiting for the timing belt. The timing belt is the thing holding us up now. Once that's here, then I can fit the auxiliary belt pulley with a little reverser for the idler for the water pump. It is quite a nice bit of kit. Waiting to do that. Got the new starter motors arrived from a Transit Connect. Thanks to Mark and Chris for shouting out which ones they were. Yeah, so we are back together, and probably as far as I'm going to go before I go into some surgery on my hands, which means probably as far as we're going to go for a while. So what I've done is just pop the cam cover over the top, put another bag underneath it to try and stop anything from getting in there. But I'm quite pleased to say the engine is now all together and sealed. Here's a top tip for you. Turns out a Sharpie or the equivalent no name brand version of it fits perfectly in the dipstick hole. There you go. Really nice seal. Stop stuff from getting in there. And that's it for now. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course when there's more then we'll be updating that as soon as we can. Otherwise you can find us on the socials. We are at UK Motor Talk everywhere.